Hey team, the Oden flashback is wrapping up. I've enjoyed it thoroughly since it started. I've heard two sides of the story. Some people are not so happy with the pacing. I am stoked with it. I think it's been going really fast. I think we've had some chapters which are super text heavy, especially with the Oden's journal and stuff. So what that means is that we've gotten a ton of information in a relatively short time. We're obviously going through Oden's whole life as fast as we can. In this video, I'll be spoiling everything in the flashback up to chapter 962. Let's go over some things we've learned about Oden in the flashback so far. So Oden immediately became a favorite character of mine. I think it might be something to do with the samurai archetype in general. I've always been a fan of Japanese culture. I've always loved ninjas. I've always loved samurai. Zoro has always been my favorite One Piece character. I've never really thought too much about why until I started looking into Oden a lot, and I think it might be the sword fighting and just the traditional Japanese, samurai background. I love Oden. Oden was an absolute scoundrel since age 1 when he judo through his babysitter. He's been partying, gambling, and drinking since about age 8, where he set fire to a Yakuza gambling den because they banned him. He was in there gambling all the time, starting too many fights, stealing all their women. This fight in the Yakuza den got him arrested, and where he got sent to the quarry in Udon prison, similar to Luffy and Old Man Hyo. When he's doing anything he does, he puts 100% effort into it, kind of seeing it as an opportunity to gain something, to gain strength or whatever. When he's in Udon prison, he quickly rose to the rank of Chief Stonemason, and this taught him all these skills that would come in handy later in life in regards to Roger's ship. Reading poneglyphs, carving messages on poneglyphs. At age 18, this is where we all jump back into the flashback, and that's the things I'm saying about different ages where he did certain feats. His father is hearing all this stuff, and he is over it. The Sukiyaki, his father, is hearing all this, and he is just over it. He's had enough, and we find out that he is just about to disown Oden. The thing about this is that Oden, we find, is not the type of person to give a stuff about being disowned. He's always wanted to be a free man. He doesn't fit in with the closed borders of Wano. In chapter 961, when he receives the letter of disownment, he calls it a laughable move. He says, "Disown away," with a big grin on his face. We also learnt in chapter 960 that he's already tried and failed 38 times to leave Wano. He's not a sailor, he's not a shipwright, he can't build a boat. Obviously, we all know the seas around Wano are very dangerous, very hard to navigate, but it doesn't stop him. He's very similar to people with D in their names. This attitude, this carefree nature, this I'm gonna do whatever I want to be free, you can't hold me, led to a questionable reputation. This is all around the cities of Wano. Obviously, he had a spotlight on him because he came from royalty. Yasu, for instance, exclaims, who would wait around for an idiot banished from the capital? In spite of the names like scoundrel and idiot that he gets called, everyone still gives him respect. Everyone still knows that they can... Trust is the wrong word, but they know how he's going to act. He's always honest. Everyone still knows the type of man he is with his own sense of duty. What we begin to learn in these flashbacks is that this bad rep that Oden has built for himself is not entirely truthful. For instance, when the mountain god, the giant white boar, attacks the flower capital, why did he do it? Some bandits stole the mountain god's baby, a little white boar, because they could sell it and get a platinum ingot, a platinum coin, which is enough money to buy a whole house in Wano. Kinemon then steals it from them. He overhears them. He goes, "Crap, all right, they're gonna get that much money. I'm gonna steal the ball." Kinemon takes it into the flower capital, and that's when he learns, oh, holy crap, this is gonna make the massive mountain of a white boar come to town, eat everything, eat the houses, eat the people. It eats Tsuru. That leads Kinemon to try and kill the boar to get Tsuru back. When Kinemon's plan fails, Oden steps in. Kinemon gets defeated by the boar. Oden steps in, he grabs the boar, and in front of everyone sees him holding the boar, going, "Hey, you looking for this? Come and get me." Oden quickly dispatches of the mountain god of the giant boar, and everyone looks at him and goes, hey, a quarter of our town was just eaten by this thing. Lucky no one died. Everyone who was in the boar was still intact, and Oden cut them open and rescued everyone. But you brought all this destruction on our town. You, from, you know, they don't know why Oden stole the boar. Why did you bring all this on our town? When Kinemon tries to tell them, he takes responsibility for it and tries to tell everyone, hey, it wasn't him, it was me. And Oden just goes, whap, and, you know, knocks him down to keep his bad boy kind of reputation. He says in pages past, when he's walking through the town where the mountain god is attacking, that he goes, oh shit, people are normally running away from me. Why aren't they? You know, you can tell that he likes it a bit. So after the mountain god incident, when we're leaving the flower capital, he has some followers, Denjiro and Kinemon, both who were there to witness the events. These are, of course, the first 2 of his 9 red scabbards. After a chat with Yasu, Oden decides to go check out the lawless town of Kuri. We get a brief look at Orochi's plotting nature and another hint for Oden getting a bad rap for things that aren't actually doing when his room at Yasuo's gets trashed, absolutely destroyed. And all this money from the safe is taken. I mentioned that people do know Oden has essentially a good heart, which is evident when Yasu doesn't completely believe Orochi when he tells him that this was Oden that did it. He's very skeptical. We have a little thought bubble in there where he says, look, if Oden was going to do this, he would have walked out the front door in broad daylight. He wouldn't have snuck around and smashed his thing and then left. You know, that's not the way he works. At this point, we already know a fair deal of Orochi's character. It's not hidden. It's not a double cross like pudding or something. We know what he is from the second we see him, from the second. All the stories, there's no hidden agenda. He just is what he is. He's a bit of a see you next Tuesday. This is all just fuel for our shared hatred of him. Oda has purposely just created the most hated character ever with Orochi. Chapter 962 also introduces us to Oden's journal, where we get a great deal of insight to his travels around the world and exploits with the Whitebeard and Roger pirates. We don't get them in this chapter, but we have the new storytelling feature, which is the journal. This is a key tool that's used in this entire flashback. We rush through Oden meeting and recruiting what would become members of the Akazaya 9. We see brothers Izo and Kikunojo, an absolute creep called Kanjuro the Goblin, who steals hair off the living and the dead to make paintbrushes. An ex-Oniwabanchu ninja called Raizo. There's, of course, one more member we need to recruit, the great and powerful monster of Kuri, Ashura Doji. There are 3 pages in chapter 962 that really sum up what I love about this flashback. In 3 pages, we cover the Battle of Kuri, where Oden walks in the front door of Kuri. I think he slashes the sign, leaves his retainers at the campsite, just tells him he's going for a piss, but actually goes into Kuri. He simultaneously beats down every single bandit that's living there, earns their respect through battle, defeats the leader in Ashura Doji, which by itself is a massive feat. He beats him after fighting for a whole day, copying arrows, copying all these wounds. He becomes the daimyo of Kuri, becomes the new leader, and he brings a level of peace to Kuri that hasn't been seen in memorable history. Fought the entire town for an entire day until he eventually got to Doji and then defeated him. He's just such a badass. And just before we close up 962, we see Neko Mamushi and Inuarashi washed up on the shore and being found by Kawamatsu. We also see Oden decide that he doesn't want stuck-up noblemen, they don't suit him, around him as his vassals. He wants his own brand of ruffians that he believes in and trusts, similar to himself. This is the official beginning of what would become the Red Scabbards. I'm going to leave it at that for the start of the Oden flashback summary. I'll blast through these amazing chapters just in time to catch up to the present day Wano when we get back there for the big Fire Festival battle, which is going to be incredible. I can't wait. Thanks again for the support, everyone, and thank you for watching.